a lot of other students have also applied from your institute, IIT
Yeah.
Madras, for the same position. But since you're doing two degrees at the same time, you have an edge.
Okay.
And I was doing political science at the time, and that's why I had an edge. And the way professor told me this, it felt like, yeah, I'll get it. So, and it's also like an honor for all the BA students because he was talking about the BTech students, on-campus students. So
Okay.
BA students really have an edge over BTech students if you're doing like multiple things at the same time. So it is a proud thing for all of us, I think.
No, because it's more like we cover multiple domains at the same time. So that's something
Exactly.
that actually talks about our credibility. Okay. Okay, let's start
Yeah.
this session. Okay. People are really excited to know your journey, the experience. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Okay. So like the first basic question. Okay. You're one of the first batch students.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, so am I. So like the first thing that we actually talk about is how you actually came to know about this degree.
Actually, I came to know about when, hello,
Yeah, yeah, you're
I think
audible.
your video is, yeah, yeah. When IIT Madras actually announced this degree, I found it about it there only. It was in August 2020, I think.
Okay.
August 20 or July 2020, I don't remember. But the moment I saw it, I read the curriculum, I felt like, yeah, this would be a nice fit because it has flexibility to offer and the curriculum is nice. And obviously, it is paying off. Like, I'm getting internships. And I think everyone will get them at some point. But yeah, I felt like this really paid off, the IIT Madras BS degree program.
Okay, so when you actually started this degree, okay, like at the
Hmm.
foundation level, like you would have done your foundation level at four subjects,
Yeah,
like four
yeah. I
subject at a
did.
time, okay.
I took four subjects in all the terms.
Okay, so how did you
Well,
actually manage that? Like, four subject is
so
actually the four
yeah,
subject thing, okay, it's quite scary thing, okay. If someone tells you that I have four subjects, then people, actually give you the look that, okay, four
yeah,
subjects,
yeah.
that means,
I have experienced that look, but I have actually studied math and Python before joining the program. So I had experience, and I knew that's why I actually got into the program because I felt like that I have enough experience to actually pass through without any troubles because linear algebra, calculus, and Python, these are the things that I already did before getting into the program, and I already liked before.
okay.
So I felt like this would be a nice thing, and I wouldn't have any problem. So I just passed through very well till
Okay.
now so far.
So go on, man.
Yeah.
Go on, man. You have actually completed almost the journey. Okay, so of course you're gonna do great in future too.
Yeah,
Okay, so like, can you tell us this one thing? Like, it's a research society event, and people actually want to know how to actually start with the research because
yeah.
at that mindset when people actually start, okay, they are not aware that how to start and what to do. Like, just
Hmm.
so little bit of your personal journey, like when you actually joined it, or even when you started your higher education, let's say graduation. So were you always
Hmm.
inclined toward the research?
Yeah, I was somewhat inclined towards research. So I'll give you my answer in two parts. The
Okay.
first part is how I got what my journey was, and the second part is how students can actually find their journey in research. So the
Okay.
first part is that when I got into the program, I my other degree was also a distance learning program. It was from School of Open Learning, Delhi University. So I had flexibility to explore much more than these two degrees as well. So I explored public policy courses. I explored like all the courses on edX. I've sort of done some courses on MicroMasters from MIT on edX, and it is like free and available to all. I explored a lot of courses on YouTube, edX, and Coursera, and basically all the learning experience that I can get from anywhere that I can get. And I was keeping an eye open for every internship, every event that could potentially help me, every place that I can meet any people, I would go for it. And I actually have a document which I'll share in a bit, which lists all the internships that I can see and that I would recommend you all to apply. And I shared that in the comment also. If you look the post of the IITM BS Instagram post or LinkedIn
Yeah.
post, I posted there also. I'll share it in a bit. And I learned about this internship. I'll tell you about the process of my research internship as well. So, Globalink Mitax is a Canadian platform. It offers international internships to students outside of India. Sorry, outside of Canada, not India.
Okay.
So, as an Indian, you can apply for this internship, and they had about 11,000 projects this time, and you can choose 5 to 7 projects and rank them according to your interest. And if your experience matches if your experience matches the professors or the projects that you choose, you'll probably get a match from the metax of the professor, and then you'll talk about what you wanted to do and what do you feel about the project, and basically the professor will also explain that would you be a good fit or not, and basically a bit around that. So 11,000 projects felt very exciting. I went like it took days for me to just go through all the projects and see where will I fit, and it actually paid off, as you can see. But this is actually for all of the students because they're looking for a good fit.
Yep.
And also one more thing, CGPA is a mandatory thing that you need to apply for this sort of an internship, because it sort of guarantees that you'll be able to
And
do what
handle
you're
the work
required to
pressure.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And about how students can start their research journey, I'll talk about it for a bit. So, the first and foremost thing that I would say, and I think everyone everywhere would say this, is focus on getting what's up, like understanding what the principles of math, stats, and basically whatever you're want to get in. Just focus on understanding that very well. And if you have a grasp and an understanding of these subjects, the second step would be to actually apply for internships. So I'll share the doc and you can see how you can apply formally. But now that we have ChatGPT, it has now become very easier to email professors on a daily basis. So in the last, I think 2 months ago, I emailed 10 to 15 professors, a total of 10 to 15 professors, and I got a reply from two or three. And I wrote them by ChatGPT. It took me like 10-15 minutes. If the people here want to get a demo of how do I send emails and what it's like, I can also do that here. And you'll also be amazed at the power of ChatGPT. I'm still amazed. And basically, you
Yeah.
can achieve a lot more since ChatGPT can help you write emails. So I would recommend the step is the process is very simple. If you want to do any research in, let's say, ocean engineering, look for the greatest ocean engineering institutes in India, or if you want to go abroad, look for outside as well. Look at the faculty in that institute and see what his or her research is about, what they have done so far. Read about it, or if you are too lazy to do that as well, you can ask ChatGPT to summarize it. And
Yeah.
actually, in one of my emails, I wrote to ChatGPT that this is the research paper. Add in a line saying that why would I be a good fit and why I admire their research philosophy.
Okay.
So ChatGPT will do that for you as well. When you write that email, you'll probably get a reply within a week or so. So yeah, these two things, applying for formal internships through the doc I'll share, and through cold emailing, which is an effective method. And I think everyone who has ever gotten a good internship, like I think about 80% of them have cold email before. I'll share that process with you if the
Yeah,
students
sure.
here want to. Yeah,
Okay,
now you can.
okay, as you mentioned Chat GPT, okay, like there's been quite a fear regarding Chat GPT that it's gonna take your job. Like that's actually
Yeah,
genuine. No, that
yeah,
has
it's
its
true.
place, okay. Like, but on a personal opinion, okay, like I would like to share a personal opinion right now. Chat GPT could be the best learning tool, this generation could find. Like till now, okay, till now we had Google, and Google was kind of a librarian, okay. You ask them,
Hmm.
they actually give you things so
And
that, okay, you can read this out, you can check this out. Chat GPT is the master librarian. You ask them and they tell you. There's
yeah.
no other process in that. Just think about it, how easy it makes things for you. Okay, now moving on actually. So when you started your research journey, okay, when you were ready, okay, this is something that I want to do. How did you actually started filtering things? Like what was the process that you enjoyed? Like, okay, this is something that I want to explore further, and this is something, no, nah, this is not something that I will explore. So what was your process?
I would basically just look at opportunities where I can find them, and you know that it's if it's exciting or not. You know if you'll work well or not. You have that feeling. I think everyone
Okay.
will have that feeling. So it's not a difficult thing to filter out that.
Yeah, like I can actually relate to that. Okay, you hear about the idea and there is butterfly in your stomach. Okay, this is something that I
Yeah.
should be doing. And you feel that, okay, like I've heard quite a lot about it. Like if you feel that, go for it. Like it
Right.
means that
Yeah.
you are meant for it.
Plus, this you have to realize that this undergraduate program that we are in, it is the most flexible program in the world, and it also offers a very good reputation of the degree. So it is not just some degree that you're doing on distance. It is something that you can do by your side while exploring other things as well. So this beautiful opportunity, I think everyone should explore to an extent that just look for people at LinkedIn and see how they got through. Look at what internships did they go to, and even talk to them like, how did you get this internship? What's the worst thing? They won't reply. But
Yeah.
yeah, that has happened to me a lot. I have been like left on scene a lot of times. But that is a process that you have to go through if you want to know what's up, like what's the process like.
Part of being an extrovert is to be a shameless guy. Like
Yeah,
you
right.
gotta try talking, okay?
Yeah,
Sometimes
you got
it
to try
works,
out.
sometimes it doesn't, okay? Okay, as you mentioned that you liked exploring a lot, okay? But that
Hmm.
actually comes with a factor that you have to invest your time. Okay, and there
Right.
and when you are someone who like exploring, there are things that you have a lot to explore, but at the same moment there are a few priorities, okay? So how do you
Hmm.
actually manage that? Okay, setting priorities and be like, okay, this is something that I could do later. Because as when you
Hmm.
start researching, okay, like when you are at the beginner stage, you don't know how like what you want to do. And the first
Hmm.
obvious thing is, okay, go explore. So how to actually
Right.
balance your exploration and your own courses that you are doing at the moment?
I think IIT offers a very flexibility on courses as well. Like
Yeah.
if you feel like you're exploring too much in the next term, you can like lighten up your load by taking only one or two courses,
Hmm.
and it doesn't affect your report card. I can vouch for it that if you take like one course a term for some time, for a couple of terms,
Hmm.
the report card, the progress card won't display that you took like these courses in one term, because they only look at your final progress card, and it doesn't display if you took one or two or what speed you were going on. And no one really cares what speed, as long as you are good enough to deliver, as long as you get the skills. So I would recommend that it is a subjective thing, that look at how you are doing things, look at what time you can spend on research or basically things non IIT, and then maybe go for it. And also I've heard some students that they sometimes do a machine learning project while taking a break, and then when they do machine learning theory and practice course in diploma, they like find it very easy to pass through it. So it is also recommended to take a break to actually learn and then apply it in our courses. Like that's something that some people prefer, but it's up to you, obviously.
Okay, so is there any time management thing that you do? Like, how do you manage your time?
How do I manage my time? I don't really have a very effective or good time management thing, because for instance, today is a deadline of 4 courses, and
Yeah.
not actually 8 weeks, because the 2 weeks are
Yeah,
combining for
7 and 8, week 7 and
yeah,
8.
7 and 8, yeah, week 7 and 8. So I don't think I'm doing it well. So I'm not the person to give advice on that. I just do things that I like, and I hope that it works out. And more often than not, it actually works out.
Okay, like, yeah, that happens. Okay, like when someone asks about time management, it's like, man, I just somehow survive.
Yeah, I just survive.
Yeah, but you are actually on a very good boat. I would say you are surviving on a cruise right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty much surviving. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so
Hmm.
as you mentioned that you are at kind of like a pinnacle at your life at this moment, right? So let's say,
I'm happy. Yeah.
yeah, of course you're happy. Yeah. Okay, so like let's say someone who have actually joined just foundation degree at the moment. Okay, so what
Hmm.
would you advise him? Like if it was something that he wants to do research and exploration, okay, he's just stepping
Hmm.
up. What would you suggest him?
So if the person is doing this program only
Hmm.
in data science, and they have decided that they'll just do research or at least start their career with data science and not explore more than that, I would recommend them to do courses on Python, machine learning, CS50, like CS50,
Yeah,
the course
Harvard
by Harvard.
CS50. Yeah.
It is the best content I've ever experienced. I haven't completed it yet. I just did the first 2 weeks. And maybe if you start a club doing that course, I'll join it probably. And I would recommend it to you. So the CS50 AI course is probably the most interesting course that I actually got into. And if you're a foundational level student, you can explore a lot of courses and a lot of things that there are in machine learning. So during your first year, you can explore what is actually machine learning. So there are differences between machine learning, deep learning, supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement, and artificial intelligence. You'll actually get to experience that. I would recommend to get an idea of what it means to be a data scientist, or what is it that you're getting into while in your first year, while in you're in foundational level. And during the diploma level, I would recommend you to go for some experiential stuff, maybe do some projects on Kaggle, or do your own projects, or maybe email professors to help them on their projects, or maybe you can email PhD students as well. They're more open to getting more students, because they want help. Why would they say no? So I would recommend you to get experience in your second year in your diploma, and during your degree level, I would recommend to get like real internships and job offers while you're in the degree level. So this pretty much sums up a journey that would be a good enough fit for someone who's starting out right now.
Hey, Abhinandan, before we actually proceed further, like, are you
Hmm.
open for questions at this moment?
Yeah, sure. I would like to talk to people if that's
Yeah.
okay,
Okay.
like one to one.
So anyone
Sure.
who have any question, please raise your hand. Come on, guys, don't be shy. Okay, he's senior. I know
Yeah.
he's senior. Okay, but he's not
Arey,
gonna.
no, no. Just tell guys.
Hey,
Acha,
yeah.
I can take questions in Hindi or English because I'm comfortable with both. So if you want to talk in Hindi also, that works for me. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, man, go on. Ask your question. Yeah, Salim. Like you
Yeah,
can go on
hello.
and ask you. Yeah, you're audible.
Hi,
Good evening.
Hey, good
hi
evening, ma'am.
Salim. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah.
Okay, so
What's up?
thanks for making time for this conversation. And I want to ask, I have been searching for Global Links, MIT, ACS. You are into
Hmm.
that fellowship, but when I searched through the list of universities in India, IIT
Hmm.
Madras is not available on that list. So are you applying primarily via MIT, IIT Madras, or through your secondary degree? Because
I
you
did
need.
apply through, yeah, I did apply through IIT Madras only. And I'm sure there must be an option. It is like a government institute, central institute, NIRF 1. Why wouldn't it
Yeah,
be there?
no,
Just
but
look for it.
I
Hmm.
have been searching through that list, but it's showing like these colleges in India. In that list,
Hmm.
IITs are not available. There
IITs
are.
are not available. I actually know some IITians who have actually previously gone for METAX, and including me, I've also applied through IIT. I don't think that would be. Maybe you're searching wrong, or you can like send me a screenshot or something on Instagram if you have
Okay.
my
No, I
and
don't.
talk to them.
I can share you with. We can talk on LinkedIn, I believe.
Yeah. You can message me on LinkedIn as well. We can
Also, I
talk there.
want to. So,
Hmm.
is your project specifically related to data science or machine learning, or is.
So the professor that I'm working with is a professor of law. So it is not a directly linked to data science project, but it will have applications obviously because that's why he picked me. But it is not a like um, a software engineering or a AI project that I'm working on.
Okay, so thanks. And one more thing I want to ask is that, you applied for a research internships, and academics play a vital role in that. Apart from academics, you need to enhance your profile. Apart from
Yeah.
academics, what you did for that, like to get into that research internship, you have to enhance your academic profile and extracurriculum things. So,
Hmm.
what are the things you did in order to make it to this list and get selected into this research of this position?
So I did actually a lot of, as I said, courses before. But apart from the online courses that I did, I took a summer semester in Ashoka University for a course on journalism. I even did a course on acting a couple years ago just to get an idea. And I've explored a lot of public policy courses as well because I find them interesting. And basically everything that I found interesting outside of the curriculum as well, I just went for it and I felt like this would help me. So I just basically it made my CV a little bit more colorful. But if you have a decent CGPA and a good grip of idea of how data science works, or basically you need to have an idea of how the project basically if you are a good fit for the project, then how diverse your background is, it wouldn't like matter much as long as you're a good fit for the project.
Okay,
So there
okay,
are 11,000 projects, as I said before. Find the projects that you think you're a good fit for. Just follow what your interests are, and I think you should be able to get in if you're lucky enough. Because there's a factor of luck as well. Because it's not just uh, you have to be a good candidate. Because I think with my application there was a factor of luck involved as well. Because I know my friends, I know a friend of mine as well who was probably who had a better CV than me, but they applied for the wrong projects and they did not get in. So there is a factor of luck as well.
okay, okay. Thank you. Thanks for your
Yeah.
valuable time and suggestions.
Sure.
Hey, thanks, Salim. Thanks for the question. Okay, we have something of an important question. Okay, and I guess
Hmm.
so. Ayush is actually asking, "What's your GPA?"
So at the time I applied, it was 8.6, and now it is around 7.9. I hope to make it better.
Okay, man, come on. It's good. I would say it's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Decent enough. So any CGPA above 8.5 should be good enough because you would be considered a very good student as long as you have a CGPA 8.5. And it is something that Professor Balaraju also recommended when there was a professionals meet, I think. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not sure.
Like keeping an 8.5 keeps you at the safe side, okay? So like
Yeah.
you'll never get the rejection because of the GPA thing. Okay.
Yeah, obviously.
So Abhinan, there is actually one question from our student side, okay, and the members. Like, that offline and online curriculum are quite different, okay? And people feel that if you are doing an offline curriculum, it kind of makes you, much more rigorous and much more valuable than doing an offline course, okay? And there is also a stigma regarding doing offline courses, okay? So like, have you ever had to deal with these things?
Yes, actually a lot. So when I did courses and when I met more people, the moment I told them that I'm doing this online degree or it is a distance learning program, they were like taken aback. Like they were like, "Ki, oh, acha, this is like some distance learning." But I would recommend that as long as you can deliver skills, it is not just a matter of if it's online or offline because there is rigor involved. We all know that. And if we are lucky enough, maybe the students, the alumni passing out of the program will make us proud. And basically, they'll know that the student body of this program is also doing good stuff. Because I think when I got into the program, there were about 6 to 8,000 people at the time they were getting in. But the number of people graduating out of the program from the degree level is less than 50, I think. I'm not sure of the numbers, but the number of people graduating and getting into good things, I think that would be a huge number. So for now, I would recommend you to just say this is a BS program and try to play it off that you are getting the skills. And if the professor is not sure, maybe you can show your projects that you did in your MED2 or MLP project on Kaggle, and that can help you. But this is a stigma that you have to pass through, obviously.
You all right?
Yeah.
So, Abhinandan, as you mentioned that, when we start our journey, okay, so sometimes we are unaware and we, unintentionally do few mistakes, okay, which we actually at that moment we think, no, it's not a mistake, okay, it's just my style. That's one way or other way of saying, okay, I'm not accepting that. But, when you actually come at, when you are successful, then you actually feel that, okay, this is something, that I could have improved or I would have, done something better. So did you ever felt like this?
Okay, so I would like to address that. Please stop calling this like me successful or like because I'm just like a normal student. I probably like I don't have my batchmates have a better CGPA than me. I've seen people, and it's not something. It's just an internship. Please just take it a bit lightly. And secondly, yeah, mistakes are something that you do. Obviously, it is a part of the process. And if you're not doing enough mistakes, that means that you're not trying enough. So mistakes is a sign that you are at least exploring new things. So I would recommend you to make a mistake every day. Because some philosophers have actually argued for actually doing this, making a mistake every day. This helps you to open up and try new things. And that's like how most of the entrepreneurs that you see, they would advise you to fail every day because that's a starting step maybe.
It actually tells you the marks on your bodies actually tells you how battle hardened you are. So mistakes are kind of like those marks, okay? The more you do, the better. But yeah, if you never learn from it, then you are the most dumb person you can actually find.
Right.
Like that's something, okay? So, tell us more about your research work that you'll be doing there. Like, the problem statement that you'll be working on.
Yeah, before I do that, should I share the doc that I mentioned?
Sure.
Yeah. Hold on. Am I the co-host? Can I share my screen?
Yeah, you can. Go on. Wait just a second.
Yeah.
Okay, we have questions from students in the chat box too. Okay, this question particularly, I found it interesting. Okay, I always used to do these mistakes during quizzes and end term. Okay, and then someone is asking for your CV, which is of course something that I would want to look into.
I always used to do these mistakes during quizzes. I don't understand what mistakes.
Even I'm trying to. I guess it's a part of the thread. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, looks like we gotta read the whole thread.
I think I can't share my screen yet. Can you look into it?
Just a minute.
Yeah, I have that. Host, disabled participant. You have to make me a co-host.
Okay, just a second.
What do you mean by decent CGPA? I think
Oh,
a CGPA above 8 is good, but above 8.5 is like a very safe CGPA to go for.
just a second. Arden?
I actually allowed participant to share the screen. So please check
Yeah,
it.
now I can show you.
Yeah.
So this is the document. I'll share the link in the chat as well for you to. Can you wait? Oh my god.
Okay, everything all right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where Zoom is. Yeah, I found it.
Okay.
Yeah, I have shared the link in the chat as well. It has a list of all the research internships, international and national, and they're all paid, by the way. A lot, like most of them are paid, so you don't have to worry about your budgets. So, if you look at the list, international programs, it goes from Hong Kong to Austria to NTU, which is a very good school in Singapore. I would recommend it. And CERN, like it is the most powerful institute that you can go for physics if you are interested. You would know if you're a physics student or what. And this is the holy grail of all the internships, I would say. I would recommend you to go to each of their website if you are in your first year or your second year and look at what you would be eligible for in the next few months or maybe a year, and maybe transform your CV or CGPA around it, and maybe do projects that will help you to get into it, or just look at them and basically plan your things accordingly. And I would also like to take this to this section, the Indian programs. There are a lot of internships by IITs as well. I applied for, I think, IIT Guwahati and Delhi a couple of years back, but I did not get in. But if you have like good enough project experience and all, then you should get in. And I did not have a strong background when I applied for the IIT internships, but this is something I would recommend because they also have projects and you have to choose from. And I would recommend to all of them to like just explore through them, and that's all. Yeah.
Okay, everyone, we are again open for the questions. So anyone who wants to ask questions.
Man, are there any questions from the forum or maybe any chat questions that you missed?
Yeah, man, of course we do. Many questions actually.
Yeah. Because maybe if we cover them, then people won't have to talk.
Yeah, so there are questions like, how did you actually got to know about the foreign research internship and how did you go through the process? That's something that you have already covered, but if you want to go into detail.
Yeah, it's just this document summarizes all the internship that I've ever known. I don't think I can think of any program that is beyond the document. But otherwise, I would definitely emphasize on emailing professors outside India as well. And also, I would like to ask you to look for research funding. Like which professor got a funding recently. This is something that my brother recommended to me. So my brother went into UC Berkeley for a year-long or 6-month internship. I don't remember. But if you look at which professor got a funding, they are most likely to reply to you on your email because they won't accept you like that, but they'll most likely reply to you and maybe take an interview. But there are institutes like the National Institute of Health or the government fundings. Just look at them, or maybe ask ChatGPT to list out the professors who recently got the funding. And if you email to them, look at their projects and see if those projects are interesting. And look at what their current project is. Try to find out on their Twitter or whatever that what are the projects that they are currently working on, and see if you can help or contribute in any way. Maybe post some suggestions that I would like to explore this part on this project, or maybe just say ki, I find this really interesting and I like your approach in your previous project, so this should do. But if you just look at professors and email through them, then you should get an internship.
Okay, so we have another questions from Ayush. Okay, what are you planning to do after your internship? Looking for a job there or coming back to India?
So I'll obviously come back. I don't plan on staying outside for now, but I'm exploring options right now. I'll probably complete my BS program, and that's about it. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get back to this. Like, what is gonna be your problem statement while you will be working on, while we will be working there?
So the professor is finding a legislative solution to alleviating poverty in developed nations.
Okay.
So it is a public policy problem, but it involves a lot of data and research from a lot of years. So my contribution would probably into summarizing and looking into that data and maybe figuring out some models to help him out with this stuff. But this is a project funded by the government of Canada just to remove poverty or from developed nations, not developing countries. And that's what the project is about.
Man, they
Yeah.
should actually check into their real estate pricings. Skyrocket high.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, follow the money. That's the best advice one can get. Okay, follow the money, you'll find everything. Either it's internship or either it's anything else. Okay, coming on to this point. So, what are the associated benefit that you'll get from this research? Like, if you don't mind me sharing.
Sure. So this internship is a fully paid program. Global Link Metax is famous for this only, and they will provide you with flight tickets, your accommodation, and they'll have a stipend as well. So basically, all your travel spending would be covered by them. So you won't have to worry about the money.
Okay, so that's great. So that's like a full paid vacation while you're working on
Yeah.
the project that you love. What else can
Right.
you want? Okay, so Canada. So like, have you ever been to Canada before?
No, but I'm looking up for it. My cousin lives there, and I think it would be fun for a
Okay.
lot of reasons.
Yeah, man, make us proud though. We had actually
Yeah,
rooting
man.
for you from you.
Sure.
Okay, so we got more questions from.
Yeah.
Okay, we got. Are there winter internship as well?
Maybe there are in the document, but if you're looking for an internship which is not in the document, I would recommend you to email the professors. But since we are a BS degree program, we don't have to look for summer or winter internships. That is for like normal on-campus students. I would not ask you to hide this fact that this is an online program. I would like you to highlight this because it will tell them that we have the flexibility to work around their timelines. We can be flexible with our time schedule and we can work with them, with the professors. So don't just go for winter or summer internships. If you are free in the next few months, I would recommend to just start writing emails to professors. Hello, Maya. Yeah. Just start writing to professors about this, about that you're a student, you are looking for projects, you found. I think I've already said a lot about this. Yeah.
And so, coming this, like now you're gonna do the project, okay? So what are your future plans? So like, how do you want to go and explore other things? Like, are you planning to explore anymore or just go with this?
I would like to do more machine learning projects as well, but most likely I will probably go for a law program because I'm interested in LLB and basically legal stuff, and I think there will be a huge industry coming up for legal for basically lawyers who have an idea of how data science and AI works, because after the next 10 years, all the legislations and all the new laws are going to be around. Should we allow self-driving cars? Whose responsibility is it? And should ChatGPT be legal? Should ChatGPT be allowed to do this? A lot of this will revolve around this tech. So I felt like this would be a nice thing for me.
And as per that, okay, like law is one of those fields which is actually quite untouched with the technology, okay? Even today, okay, even these present era, like there is not much use of technology in field of law, especially in India. Like if you are aware of how all the legal processes work and the pending cases that we have. So that's definitely one of the upcoming domain, that actually you can look into.
Actually, there's a project on Kaggle as well. They have listed down, they've given us the data of all the patents that US has made so far, and it has a lot of data. And what you have to do, it's the problem that you're trying to solve is that when a new patent request comes, you have to search for the keywords in the patent request in all the patents that you have received so far, and maybe look for if there's plagiarism involved or if there is similarity, and if it's more than 30% or whatever the number is. So you're trying to solve that with data and not manual or through file work. So that is I felt that interesting. You can find it on Kaggle.
So, you have actually mentioned Kaggle projects quite a lot, okay? So, like, can you tell us in brief, like, how a Kaggle project can actually help a BS degree student and why actually they should try, even if they are not an expert in ML or even if they are just a beginner? Like, this is something
Kaggle is a very friendly website for newcomers, and we have a project in MLP. Have you done MLP so far?
No, not me actually. I'll be taking MLP next term.
Okay, so MLP project is on Kaggle. At least it was there when I did MLP. I'm not sure how it works now. But when I did MLP, there was a project that we were supposed to do on Kaggle only. There were rankings and we had to solve a classification problem on Kaggle. So it is a very friendly, beginner friendly website, and also it takes you from beginner problems to expert problems. So you can range from obviously wherever you want to fit in. And there's this Titanic data set which is very famous. Every online course that you go for, you probably have seen it. Everyone in the
Yeah.
Zoom call that there's a Titanic data. So you can explore on your own as well because there is a lot of data. You can just look at mean averages and you can maybe do some predictions as well. You can start by doing it, and you can also list it in your CV and your experience that you have done this project. This is the approach that you took, and it is also a talking point in your interviews. So if a professor or the interviewer, if you're not looking for research internships, then you can also expect that the people who are hiring you will look at the projects, will probably not look at it, but will see how many projects you have done. And during the interview, they might talk about your projects and they might talk about your approaches and the problems that you faced during that. So that is a lot of that will display your experience. And I don't think anything else can display your experience by experience itself.
Like here comes just one more part. Okay, the part of taking an interview. Okay, how to actually tackle an interview and how to actually customize your CV when you are applying for jobs. Like there is actually a standard procedure that if you are applying for some other job in other domain, you should like modify your CV
Yeah.
quite a bit, so that it actually goes as per their needs and demands. So like, is this something that you have done in the past?
Yeah, so Harvard Business Review, HBR, have posted a very good article. Not just an article, I think it's a whole list of things that you should do and shouldn't do on while making your resume. And if you are looking for an interview tips or anything, I would recommend you to go for the HBR website. Just Google Harvard CV tips or HBR CV tips or whatever, and you'll probably find an article, and that will probably summarize all you can think of, and it's the best article that I think you can come across.
Like I'll add one more suggestion on top of this. Okay, so like if you want to find any academic details, okay, like how to solve a problem, just type the problem and do this keyword, okay, site and then colon and .edu, okay, .edu or any country's domain, okay, so that actually help you come up with university documents that they actually share with their students.
Yeah,
That
and
is
that is actually, so the document I shared is also a document from some
NIT.
other college,
Yeah.
NIT. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they usually provide useful resources. Wait, someone is sharing. Can
Okay.
you stop that? I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
want to screen it anymore. Yeah.
Aryan, please look into this.
Can we talk to more students?
Yeah,
People
definitely.
are-
Even I want to talk students, okay? Like people are being so
Yeah.
shy, okay? Okay, guys, come on, raise your hands, okay? Those who have questions,
Uh,
any queries, anything. Even if
yeah,
you are in
yeah.
foundation,
Go
diploma,
for it.
anything.
Hindi, English, कुछ भी चलेगा. You can just ask.
Okay, people are being shy. They don't have any question at the
They
moment.
can also post it on the chat.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, we got one message, okay. Duration of your internship.
It's 3 months. It's 12 weeks,
Okay,
which is
12
about
weeks.
3 months.
Standard procedure, to put it in
Uh,
weeks.
Yeah.
Abhinandan, till we wait for the students to come up with questions, okay? So, like, when you started your PS degree journey, okay? So, actually, even we all know that it's quite different from a normal distance learning program. It's just not just studies, okay? So, what are the aspects that you really loved being in this degree?
So, during my first year, I was very active in the student politics. I think some of the people here also may know me from before. And I was very much into it. I was the secretary of Bandipur House, the first secretary.
Yeah.
And I was the academic affairs coordinator as well. So it was a very exciting thing for all of us because the degree has just started out. We are building out student structures, and basically, I was also part of the steering committee of the constitution team.
Constitution, yeah.
Yeah. So that was sort of exciting for me.
Hey, remember,
I
like,
think we have some questions. Yeah.
yeah, okay. So there are a few questions. Okay,
How to-
so share the extra courses you pursued apart from BS and BA degree.
Yeah, I'll share the list. I can talk about a few. So there is this MicroMasters in Data Economics and Development Policy, development program, Data Economics and Development Policy from MIT. So what they do is it is sort of similar to what IIT is doing. It has a list of 5 courses and 5 online courses, and on edX, they are on edX, or maybe they have changed to MITx now. But after the course, after completing your course, you can give an exam. It will be conducted by Pearson VUE, their examination partner, and it will certify you to to apply for a master's program in MIT. So this micro masters is actually a glimpse of masters. So when you go for masters, it will be a 6 month program instead of a 1 year or 2 year program in US, and it's basically like do some of your masters from India and do the rest of us in Harvard, MIT. And also there are some programs from Harvard Extension School as well that you can look for, where they have some online programs that you can do before, and then you can apply for offline programs in Harvard to continue and complete your program at Harvard. And I would recommend, like, when I first saw edX, I was blown away because edX was my go-to place. It has courses from the best professors, hands down, that ever exist on this planet. And there's another course called Justice by Michael Sandler. It is a very beautiful and introductory course on public policy. I would just recommend you to watch it for the first 20 minutes. It's on YouTube as well. And all these courses are free, by the way. The things that I'm mentioning, all of them are free. You can also, if you want a certificate, then you have to pay. But for the MicroMasters program, you can apply for scholarship if you want to go for. I got a scholarship through. They just check your income tax returns, and if you fall in some category, then they'll give you with scholarship. It's a pretty standard process. And being an Indian, I think most of us would actually fall in their lowest bracket. So I paid the lowest possible amount that you had to go through for a certificate. Other courses, I don't recall anything else, but yeah, I'll say when I think of something.
Okay, everyone, it's a standard procedure for Research Society, okay, that after every session, we do publish a document, okay, a brief document of what we covered and the resources that we talk about. So don't worry about that. There's nothing that you can miss.
Yeah.
Okay, Abhinandan, so as you have mentioned that, you have actually explored quite a lot of courses, and, talking about the EDS, okay, because personally, I remember when I actually found EDS in 2016 and 16ish, okay, and I was really baffled by that, okay, so many courses at one places, like that's a gold mine. And, okay, everyone, like, I would just suggest one more thing, okay, like, Abhinandan, you mentioned regarding HBR, like Harvard Business Review, okay, so I would suggest, they have the very best resources, okay, when you actually have to learn about how to communicate or how to actually present, these are something, and even resume and CVs, in nutshell, how to interact with corporate world, okay, so they got very good resources. So I would suggest just to look into it. So there's one more question from Rajat. He's currently doing his BTech in CSE as well as BS. Any suggestions?
Yeah. So for you, Rajat, hi Rajat, by the way, if you can talk, I would like to talk to you as well, but it's okay as well. So if you're doing a BTech in CSE, then that will give you an advantage beforehand while you are doing this program. So I would recommend you to make sure that you get a good enough CGPA. Maybe try to go for an 8.5 or 9. And what this will look for me or any other employer is that you are really interested in CS, computer science, data science, and AI. That's why you are doing 2 different programs for the same thing at the same time. So make sure that you also display that you are like a professional, like you have a good experience in computer science and AI and data science, whatever field you want to go for. So I would recommend you to get very much, do as many projects as you can in this field only, and make sure that you specialize as much as you can in a very specific domain, because that is your forte, that you are committed to this particular discipline, and you want to go forward in this discipline, and maybe you'll go for it in life throughout your whole life. So I would recommend you to go for it.
Okay, so one of the participants, Sarthak, have actually raised his hand. So Sarthak, please go on.
Yeah. Hi, Sarthak.
Yeah. Hi, Abhinandan. Hi, Mayank. Am I audible to you?
Yeah, you are. Loud and
Yeah,
clear.
I have a very basic question. Like if we talk about the data science or about machine learning, like if we talk about the machine learning can have like multiple domains. Like machine learning can be into research, can be into like marketing, can be into like product development, or in like there are like n number of things, right? So how to select the correct path in which we have to follow? Like, I don't know which domain I fits in.
Right,
So
I understand. So that the when you said that it is divided into multiple things, these are the applications of machine learning. I see machine learning as divided into three domains, which is supervised, unsupervised, and maybe reinforcement learning only. And you only specific, think of specializing in only one domain, which is if you're into supervisor, or maybe you can do all as well. But see what is really interesting, what you find very interesting, and then look for the applications of, let's say, supervised learning. And I'm sure that in every domain, in every possible discipline that you can think of, there will be an application of that discipline that you're choosing. So if you, let's say, pick supervised learning, then anything that has data, then it will have an application. So you can also go to a McDonald's store near you and you'll probably find an application of it. If you go to, let's say, a fruit wala near you, you can ask them, bhaiya, what time do people come? Just take a note of it, and maybe you can give all the data to your to the Python code or whatever you're working on, and then tell him that during these times and these days you are less likely to receive a customer, so you can take your time out during that time. Maybe you can help him through that. So think of what you can learn, divide it into the learning part of it and applications. I think it is everywhere in every discipline. Just name it and I'll find an application to it.
yeah, exactly. I have one more question.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, sure.
let's suppose if I talk about myself, I'm into like robotics, embedded system, and all of these things. I'm doing this since
Hmm.
like 6-7 years, so I have like big experience in this field. Now
Nice.
I'm doing like data science. So what do you think, that I should stuck to like hardware part, that is robotics and the embedded system, or I should explore the software part, that is data science and all of this stuff? So what do you think
Have
about
you
it?
graduated so far, or what are you
No,
doing
no, no, no,
besides
no,
this?
no. I'm doing this for the full time.
But is there any other program that you're doing?
No, there is no other program I'm
Okay,
doing.
just program. So, and you're in your foundational or
I'm
diploma?
I'm in the I'm in the
Foundational
foundation.
level.
Yeah.
So I would recommend you to explore in the foundational level, as I said before as well, because during a diploma and degree level, that's when you have to be sure of what you want to do. During the foundation level, I would like you to just explore and see what's out there. And in the diploma level, you'll look at PDSA, Java, MLP, and you'll get a specialization in each of the subjects, and you'll know what you want to go for. So, sticking to one thing is for the final or pre-final year, I would say, for any other college student. So, if you're a robotics student, that is very good. And if you have like committed to robotics, which is also very commendable things, and a lot of people appreciate it. If you have committed to it and want to commit to it, then I would recommend you to just look at what, just basically specializing in that and see what you can do new, what's currently happening. Maybe you can go to research conferences happening around robotics and see what's the new upcoming research coming up. So like in machine learning, I was looking for what's happening right now. So there was the research, I read a research paper about finding outliers, like how do you figure out outliers in a data. So just look at what the current research papers are talking about. Maybe go to conferences if you want to specialize in robotics, and then maybe you can talk to professors who are in the conference and maybe ask for a internship, or just collaborate with the project or anything, or maybe you can start your own project. Basically that's what you can that's what I can say, but it's up to you to decide.
Okay, by the way, can you tell me like how can I reach those conferences? Like how can I get into those
um
conferences you're talking about?
You can Google a list of, just ask ChatGPT. It's the most
Okay.
reputed. You can ask ChatGPT, but I think ChatGPT has a data till 2022 or 21. GPT-4 has 2022. 3.5 has 2021. I'm not sure. Or else you'll definitely find them on Google. Or
Yeah.
this should be enough.
Okay, thank you
Okay.
so much.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you so much, Sarthak. So, Abhinandan, we actually got a very good questions. Okay. So,
Hmm.
Angna actually asked a question like, any suggestions for students of economics who are pursuing this degree? What paths one can or opportunities can a person look for being at foundation level, and how should I go forward?
Economics and data science is somewhat a gold mine these days. My cousin, she's in Canada and she's doing economics, and she was telling me that there's a huge demand for economics who have a experience in programming and coding. So maybe try to capitalize on that. Maybe look for projects that are happening, because obviously economics, when you think of economics, when you just look at what the current research is about, I'll recommend maybe a similar thing that I said to him, but on a different line. That it also depends on what you want to go for or what you want to do. Maybe I can talk to him or her. Who was that?
Just scroll. Angana. That's all.
Huh?
Like, are you asking me like who was it?
Yeah, who was the person? If
Okay,
they
yeah.
want to talk, they can talk. I would prefer that.
Yeah, no, Angna, you can actually, ping Abhinandan in the group, okay? He's in our RaSoR group, so you can actually ask question to him there.
Which group?
Okay, man. That's quite surprising, yeah. God, you got to join our RaSoR Society, man. Come on. That's
Okay.
not fair.
I'll join it. Yeah. But you can message me on Instagram or LinkedIn. I'm available there also.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, Shakil got a question. Yeah, Shakil, go on.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
How are you?
Don't. Yeah, I'm a fellow student. Don't call me sir. Just call you
Okay,
Abhinandan.
brother. How are you? Hello, can you hear me?
Hello. Yeah.
Brother, I actually asked the last question about the economics. That was not actually economics, it was environmental economics.
Okay,
So, can I integrate climate with AI from this field?
obviously, I'm sure there are applications, but can you tell me a little bit more about where you're doing it and what is it that
Sure.
you're doing besides this program?
Actually, I'm from Bangladesh.
Oh, nice.
I'm doing
great.
a bachelor in environmental and resource economics,
Hmm.
where I'm the third year student currently. It's
You're
a
a third year student.
4 years program, and my foundational level will be end up after 4 months, I think.
Okay. So I would recommend you to look at basically data science and machine learning and what they are capable of. Maybe try practicing some of it. Since you're in the foundation, I'm assuming that you don't know much about it. But just practice a bit about data science and machine learning, and then go to your professors at your college and talk to them that these are the things that I can do. Tell me what are the projects that you're working on. Maybe I can help you or provide you with some of my understanding of coding, and maybe I can help you with it. And just look for data. Anywhere there is data involved, you can use supervised machine learning, and anywhere there is prediction involved, then there is obviously machine learning and data science involved. So look for these keywords and these things, and you'll probably find of it. Just talk to your professors, because I'm not an expert on this, but I'm sure your professors will help you guide on this.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for joining, man. Hey, Abhinandan, you actually mentioned the fruit silver example. That actually reminded me of the BDM project, okay?
Yeah.
And
Same,
people,
I also want to.
and people here have actually, taken quite lightly to that BDM project, okay? The amount of learning that you can have while at project, okay? So can you mention some facts, okay, that why you should go and do it like as honestly as possible, the BDM project, and what are the learnings that you can expect from that?
So first of all, when I did BDM, I was the first batch. The project wasn't mandatory, so I skipped it. I lost 20 marks and I got a D in the BDM course, but I skipped it. But I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. And IITM is also doing a very nice thing that they are finding out the 10 best projects and showcasing it to industry professionals. There was a meet today as well. I think around 11 o'clock.
11:30 actually.
11:30, yeah. And my friend Ashwin, he was the first one to show his project during the meet. So while you're doing BDM, it is a very nice thing because you take some raw data and do some magic and then help the people who are behind it. There's something that you can advertise to anyone. You can tell this to a professor that I took this, I asked this salesman for his data, and I took the data, the raw data, and helped him with this. This is such a good advertisement about data science, about what you can do with data science. Because you're just looking at new applications of data science that were not used before. So this is something that you can advertise well.
Okay, Abhinandan. So we got another questions from Aryan. So he's saying hello to you, and he's currently in foundational level and also pursuing a BTech degree. And he don't know how to explore fields and learn new things. So he want to know how to go forward with this.
How to go forward? Currently in foundation, also pursuing BTech. BTech in what? Acha, new thing. I would suggest just go for edX or YouTube. You'll find a lot of lectures. Go to YouTube, search MIT lectures, Stanford lectures, Harvard lectures, Yale lectures. You'll find a lot. Like there's a lecture series on death. It's
Okay.
a philosophy course from Yale, and it is a very beautiful course. I would recommend it to you all. It's not just some random course. And there's a course on behavioral economics from Stanford, which is also a very nice course. I would recommend it. Sorry, behavioral behavioral science or of human, not behavioral economics. And there are courses on data science as well from Harvard, which are available on YouTube. There's specific courses on supervised machine learning. I think I did not do them, but the machine learning CS50 AI, the
Yeah, that's
Harvard from Harvard. That is something I would love to do. And if you're making a group, I would be interested to join. I'm very serious about this, man.
hey man. So let's do this.
Okay.
Let's make a group out of it in the community
Yeah.
itself. Okay, and we can start with that. And Arden, like I would add one more thing. Okay, just go and do first few weeks of the course. Okay, just go and do the first week. You'll know you will enjoy it or not. By
Yeah,
then,
just watch the first 10 minutes of the lecture. It's free. It's not like they're asking any money.
yeah. If
So you
you
can,
feel asleep, just don't go for it.
or now too, you have ChatGPT also. Now you can ask ChatGPT that give me a list of courses that I might be interested in. I'm doing this. I think ChatGPT would be a better advisor than me. So try asking ChatGPT. Yeah.
With the BDM project, actually, like there is actually a factor of human. Like when you are actually working as a data scientist, you kind of forget how to communicate with human. Okay, there's a lot of data coming on, but as you mentioned, the fruit wall example. Okay, actually solving a problem that actually gives another kind of a sensation. It's quite fulfilling.
It
So
gives you chills. Yeah. I think it is the best advertisement that you can give of yourself, because it is a very personal project that you did. It is subjective. It is definitely something that no one ever did. Because if someone had did, then the tool wala vendor would know that these are the times I would know. So this is something that you're helping people as well. So this is the best advertisement of yourself that you can do.
okay, so one more question from Bhabatosh. So hello, I'm currently pursuing BCom and DS Foundation. Is there any amalgamation between these two? Like, how can commerce help in data science?
Yeah, obviously there are. So I'm doing this course right now, financial forensics. It is in the degree level. So the first few weeks were just about accounts. I did till then only. But there is obviously an amalgamation of both. I would ask you to ask ChatGPT first, because since I'm not an expert. But there are obviously a lot of a lot of intersection between economics and data science that we'll see now, and we'll definitely see in the times we are going for. In the next 5 years, I think economics will have mandatory coding courses. Like that is for sure. I think they have started right now as well. I'm not sure if they've started or not, but they will be mandatory, I think, in the future. And ask ChatGPT. I don't think anyone would be a better advisor than.
Oh, and ChatGPT is.
Yeah.
This is something good.
Any other questions?
Okay, the chat section seems empty at the moment, so don't worry about that. Hey, I remember this one time. Okay, I was going through a few courses and I found a document. It's from MIT, and they had a whole full-fledged course on how to lockpick.
How to
pick a lock? Yeah, yeah. But then I got into it. Then I'm like, dude, it's not used because we use padlock locks. Okay, they have that. Okay, so they didn't thought about it.
I heard that some university in US is doing a course on some song of Taylor Swift. I think, I'm not sure, but I heard something like this. They do some random shit.
Hey man, they actually got the chill to do these things.
Yeah.
Like they always keep exploring. Okay, so I'm in diploma level and a physics graduate. Can you tell me about what are the opportunities for physics scholars?
Yeah, there are opportunities. So, as I said before, that my brother was doing his internship in UC Berkeley. He was also a physics graduate, and what he did was not also a physics project. It was a project in biology that the professor was in. So his project was around tracking the movement of mosquitoes and maybe predicting it. And they were just looking at what smell would the insect go for or the mosquito go for. So physics, I'm sure it has a lot of applications in data science, but since I'm not an expert, I don't know what exactly is there. I would recommend you to ask ChatGPT, as I said. And if you're a college student who is doing something else, like a physics student or a chemistry student, then I would highly suggest you to ask your professors that I'm doing a bachelor's in data science. What are some applications that I can look for, or what are some projects that you are doing that maybe can use some help of data science that I can provide you with? That is something I would recommend to every college student that there is in this meet, to ask their professors, ask them about what are some applications, and maybe go for it.
I don't know, like application does one more thing, okay, like it's a part of questioning. Like once you start question everything, now how can I solve this, or what's something that I can do, make
Yeah.
it a new make it a new perception about it. Then then you actually start thinking, okay, like this is something that I can use. Like
Yeah, right.
like I remember this course from the course that actually I did a while long ago. So they actually gave me an assignment, okay. So they were like, they gave me this marker, okay. So they were like, okay, think of 10 uses that you can actually do from this marker. So like the first basic thing is, of course, you can write, but what else? Another thing, being from a school, you can hit someone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
that's
play pen fight.
You can play pen fight, okay, and it's quite heavy, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
win.
You
That's for
can put it in the switch where they have like 3 pins and you have to put in a charger. You can't do that without a pen.
Yeah,
And
that's one thing. Then
yeah,
you can make a mustache if you don't have.
yeah.
That's something.
Interesting.
If someone is bald, you can just draw it on the back of the
Yeah, I
head.
was actually watching Modern Family recently, and I saw that Luke had a project that he has to throw an egg from a first or second floor without it breaking. So figure out defense mechanism. Maybe try wrapping it in something that won't let it break. Just saying it out loud.
Like part of
Anything
being
else?
creative, like Abhinandan, going into a little bit of detail. Okay, so part of being creative. So how do you approach this? Like, there is always one way of doing things. So like, do you have any method that you approach? Okay, let's do it in another way or something like that.
I think it's out of laziness only. When you have something to do, but you don't want to do it, like that is when actually creativity comes in. So, it is something unrelated to research, but it is an advice for all the students out here that Chat GPT is an amazing learning tool. Your video is froze, I think. You hear?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
Every time your video freezes, I think that my internet has gone off. So, ChatGPT is an amazing tool to actually learn with IIT as well. So, what I do sometimes is I take the practice assignment or activity questions from our assignments without watching the lectures. I give the question to ChatGPT and I ask it to answer. Then, whatever I don't understand, I ask it to elaborate on it. And by the end of the assignment, I probably know everything there is to know about what is that in the week. It saves time, it is very efficient, and you can ask very pointed questions that you have, very pointed things that you don't understand. So ChatGPT is a very amazing learning tool, and I don't think I can go back. I don't think I can go back to a time when there was no ChatGPT and you have to survive without ChatGPT. Like dependent on it now.
Like, you might have watched that series, okay? Even I can't remember the name of it, but there used to be a species where, they had this mind thing, okay? So they could actually, ask questions in their mind and interact with the computer. I guess it was Star Trek, okay?
Star Trek. I haven't watched that thing.
Okay, so, like, and when I first saw ChatGPT and I tried it, and I was like, this is something that I felt, okay, like we have come quite closer to it. Like till now, Google, you had to
We
find,
are coming, yeah.
like,
ChatGPT is a very revolutionary thing. I think that everything is going to change.
and the
Now
best learning tool.
ChatGPT, GPT-4 will take in image inputs from after a few weeks or months. I'm not sure, but that will change the way you look at things. If ChatGPT starts like taking in image inputs, video inputs, and start giving out image video outputs, then everything is like different. You can make a TV show by just giving prompts. You can make a whole TV series, and basically everything will be different. And you have to adapt to it. Like I would, if anyone here who doesn't know about ChatGPT, I would literally beg them to go for it because it is going to be a part of your life sooner or later.
Okay, so
Why have
Deependra Pratap.
I am madly in love with ChatGPT. Like I was having an argument with my girlfriend recently, and I quoted ChatGPT to her. So ChatGPT is, I think, my first girlfriend, like the person I love the most right now and can't live without. And
And who's
I can
constantly
probably
with
do a
you?
more session on ChatGPT, a whole session on ChatGPT on how to use it, and it has changed my life. And every time I get a response, I'm like amused at how is this happening? What is this? Why is this so amazing?
Hey man, like, you should actually, like, if you are interested, so just a suggestion, you can actually make a guide out of it. Like how to use, how to best use ChatGPT.
I think there are guides on YouTube. There are ChatGPT prompts that you can use.
Okay,
Right now we are
so I guess,
yeah,
we are.
yeah.
Make
Make
sure.
sure. I think she'll watch it sometime for sure.
Yeah, it's on live
But
YouTube, so.
I'll resolve that fight with ChatGPT only. But yeah.
Okay, Abhinandan, so it's been an hour, and it doesn't even feel like that we have been talking for an hour. So
Yeah. So
like it was
nice.
a really great session, man. Okay, we got another question from Hemant. Okay, apart from academic requirements, what are the personal requirements checklist for studying in the foreign country?
Oh yeah, that's a nice question. So the professor that interviewed me, he asked me to give him a writing sample. So basically, they want to ensure that we are comfortable with English as a medium to speak and write. So I was lucky enough that I had a writing sample with me. I made an article recently. I wrote an article for a course, and I gave it to him right away. So that is something that they ask for. But they usually test it by what institute you are studying and what is the medium of instruction at that institute. So IIT Madras is English only, so that shouldn't be a problem. But basically, a comfort level with English is something that they look for, obviously.
And
Writing skills also, yeah.
and consider, like, if you have given a TOEFL, so that that actually adds a point.
No, they didn't ask me for TOEFL or IELTS anything for this internship.
No, like I'm saying, like if you already have done that, okay, so it's gonna add a
Yeah,
point
it's that it will act as a indicator.
Okay, guys, any more questions? Any more questions? Anything? You want to know how to use ChatGPT? Okay. Sarthak, so don't you think ChatGPT will make us human dependent on certain algorithms, and this will, on a long term, will decrease the human brain capacity?
I think computer and phones have already done that. But ChatGPT, yeah, it has the potential to do it. But how I look at it is a companion. At with ChatGPT, you're doing more things. Like writing emails is something that I hated. The laborious process of thinking an article, which is also nice, but now that ChatGPT is, now we have to look for just creative things in writing an email and what is the real content, what is the message that we are going to convey. So we have to like think more on our feet right now, because if ChatGPT starts doing everything, then we have to ask ourselves what is it that we are providing to society or to any organization that we are working that ChatGPT can't do. So there was this meme that there was this person who was very happy that ChatGPT can do his job, and the second picture was, oh shit, ChatGPT can do my job, because he's gonna be fired soon.
And one thing about ChatGPT, okay, like since after the .com bubble burst, okay, like people have been quite active in the computer science, okay, not even in computer science, okay, but the application of computer sciences, right, programming and other things. And I feel that after once ChatGPT is gonna take over, we humans are actually gonna tend to look for problems, problems around us. Like ocean is pretty unexplored at this moment. There are people who are gonna go into that, okay. There are a lot many figures, deep space. Like these are the things that people would want to go and pursue. So that's one of the things, okay, that ChatGPT is gonna do.
At the same time, I also don't feel that ChatGPT will replace humans, because there is a margin of error with ChatGPT. It can't write codes, and the worst part is it gives you answers with so much confidence that it knows it, and you can't just check. So obviously there will be need for humans, but what it will do is reduce the number of people working in an organization, because the work that 10 people are doing, maybe 3-4 people can do it with the help of ChatGPT now.
Like in a nutshell, I would say people are gonna be more human now.
Yeah. Now we have to figure out what is human about being human, and what is it that ChatGPT can do and I can't do, and basically, the vice versa.
Okay, I guess if we keep this open, like people are gonna ChatGPT more than things.
No, I had time till 8. Maybe you can, if there are questions, I can take time till.
Okay, any more questions, guys?
Or we can wrap it up. Like, I think my Instagram ID or LinkedIn ID.
Yeah,
it has been posted by IITM BS. So if you're sharing a doc, share that as well. Feel free to reach out to me there. I'll respond. And you can also send me a request on LinkedIn. I'll probably accept it. if I like go through. I'm not very active on Instagram and LinkedIn, so and I won't accept Instagram request because it's a very private thing for me. But LinkedIn I'll definitely do, but I'm also not very active on both of the platforms. So, but I'll respond to your messages on both of the platforms.
Yeah, and we all know where your time actually goes on. ChatGPT
Yeah.
has taken you.
ChatGPT.
Yeah, we do though. So actually, let's wrap this up. Okay, so people are even okay. They were like, if you have any question, just let us know. Okay, and I will forward your questions to Abhinandan, and you can directly reach out to him in his DMs. Okay.
I think Sarthak has raised his hand.
Okay. Yeah. Just a second. Yeah, Sarthak.
Hi guys, I have a question regarding ChatGPT. If you,
Yeah, sure. You want?
I have a question like the basic, like the basic. If I talk about the basic algorithm on the ChatGPT and all, like any AI works, it works on the data, right? If there's no data, it cannot work, right? So do you think that things like ChatGPT can create new things like discoveries and all which don't have like certain, like if I talk about like जैसे पहले से कोई चीज बनी हुई है, ठीक है, I have the data, okay, then ChatGPT will give us the like output which are inspired or by like वहीं से उठा के वो देगा answer. So ChatGPT
this is
cannot
true,
discover
but
anything, right?
this is sort of what Google does. ChatGPT क्या कर सकते हैं? They can हमें जो data से हमने unseen conclusions है, which we might have missed. ChatGPT can provide us that. So if we give ChatGPT a summary, a recording of this meeting, let's say, then ChatGPT will be able to point out at what points did I get nervous, what points did I get comfortable, what is something that I liked, what is something that I did not like, and these are the things that we all have missed. Like we all don't know when it happened, what happened, but ChatGPT will be able to find it out because it has immense resources, because it has like a brain power of more than one human, like a lot of humans. So obviously it will be able to figure out things that we can't, and it will be hidden in the data, but we can't infer directly as humans, because if there is more processing involved, then ChatGPT will be able to do it for us.
Okay, so basically the ChatGPT just opens the dynamics of the data which were unseen, right?
Yeah, somewhat, but it can't. I don't think it can create new information. Like
yeah.
It's kind of like ChatGPT can learn as much as we have given them. The data it's been trained on. That's that's the constant.
And the more we use, the more smarter it will get, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, man.
Chalo, man, I think we can wrap this up.
Yeah, sure, man.
Questions.
9:53.
Thank you so much, all the people who joined this meet. I'm very happy to talk to you, and it was a pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me.
It was a pleasure, man. Like, it was really a pleasure talking to you. And as I mentioned, okay, like, I didn't even feel like that we were talking. Okay, it just went so well.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Abhinandan, for joining in. So, have a great day. Have a great future. And make us proud.
Thank you so much. I hope you liked the talk.
Yeah, but definitely. Like, I enjoyed, okay? Like, we'll let you know what people ask.
All the participants, just give a thumbs up through the emotion chat or anything if you like. Give a reaction if you like.
Yeah, just a reaction, okay, guys. Come on.
Yeah. ChatGPT rocks. Yeah,
ChatGPT rocks. Yeah.
It does. Chalo. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
See you
guys.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you all.
Thank you for joining, man. Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining in, everyone.